Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I rise to provide an update on the performance of the sugar industry and to outline the strategic roadmap the Ministry is developing to ensure its long-term viability and contribution to our national wealth. The sugarcane sector is vital for the livelihood of many who are directly and indirectly dependent on the industry. This industry flourished in the 1990s until the midst of 2000. However, it faced a downward turn after 2006, and the trend continues. Currently, we have around 10,000 active farmers producing around 1.5 million tons of cane from under 85,000 hectares of sugarcane land. Honourable Speaker, sir, the industry has faced various challenges: financial, environment, and social challenges, fluctuation in world market price, rising cost in production, increase in fertilizer price, high fuel costs, poor husbandry practices, age ratoons, poor soil conditions, climate change, low productivity, labor shortage, aging farmers, lease expiry, and the deteriorated milling infrastructure, amongst other challenges. Honourable Speaker, sir, despite the significant changes the industry faces, we are entering a phase of evidence-based transformation. I wish to inform this August House that the Ministry has received a comprehensive report from the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations titled Harvesting Prosperity, a Pathway for Fiji's Sugarcane Industry for National Wealth Creation. Honourable Speaker, sir, to truly revitalize this industry, the report recommends a bold and transformative shift. We must move away from the traditional raw sugar-only model and embrace an integrated sugar and renewable mix. This is what the rest of the sugar-producing countries have been doing to maintain sustainability. To achieve this, we have identified 5 critical pillars to reform. First, we must modernize our infrastructure. This means investing in energy-efficient milling and high-pressure boilers to maximize electricity generation. There will be investment into sugar mills, railway systems, roads, waterways and other infrastructure. This will also include looking at how we can progress towards transporting sugarcane by rails across the Mba and the Singatoko River. Second, we will need to focus on farm productivity. We will need to move to a cane quality-based payment system. The current payment is on weight that does not promote quality sugar production and reduces mill efficiencies. There had been reports on increased unapproved varieties of sugarcane sent to one of the mills very recently. The cane quality-based system would ensure that farmers are rewarded with the sucrose content they produce, not the wheat. This government focuses is to increase productivity, not only in sugarcane, but also for sugar. Third, we must address land tenure and land issues. This is always a very sensitive area for decisions. For discussions, however, the Ministry has been discussing with the TLTB on how the land tenure systems and legislation will be reviewed so that they can address the needs of farmers and landowners. The review has been long overdue, and it will be done to address the current needs. Fourth, we will need to pursue diversification, and diversification will be guided by proposals and recommendations from studies that have been done and will be done for the sector. The studies will identify different options that the industry will adopt to improve the efficiency of the sugar industry. Finally, we will need to strengthen our institutions. We may need to propose the establishment of an institution, a body that will consolidate oversight and eliminate overlaps between the Ministry, FSC, the Growers Council, and other stakeholders. One authority, one unified strategy. Honourable Speaker, these recommendations provide a blueprint to transform our sugar industry from a legacy industry into a modern green energy powerhouse. A key pillar of our plan is diversification. We recognize that relying solely on raw sugar exports leaves our farmers vulnerable to global price fluctuation. Consequently, the Ministry is actively having discussion with the European Union to conduct further technical studies on diversification. And we aim to transform the industry for those farmers who are willing to take up diversification, providing them with alternative revenue streams such as ethanol production, refined sugar, and bioenergy. Honourable Speaker, Fiji is not alone in this transition. Major sugar-producing nations are already leading the way. These countries are diversifying primarily due to their wish, and we wish to adopt a similar concept tailored to the Fiji context to build a more resilient agriculture sector. Honourable Speaker, our future plans are inclusive. We are particularly focused on providing targeted support for our farmers, whether through soil rehabilitation, better access to mechanization, or providing the tools for transition into high-value alternative crops. Our goal is to ensure that no farmer is left behind and this modernization progress. In closing, Honourable Speaker, these plans are not being developed in isolation. This entire strategy, incorporating the findings of FAO report and the forthcoming European Union studies. The Ministry will also thoroughly discuss with the Standing Committee of Natural Resources recommendation for the sugar industry, and we welcome the guidance and oversight to help ensure that our plans are practical, sustainable, and serve the best interests of all Fijians. Now, what is it?
Thank you.